All right, guys. Awesome. Hope you got some good stuff written down there. You know what? I'm going to check our chat line to see if we've got some two comments. All right. We could do probably a little better than that. But you know what? It's early, right? Hey, thanks for jumping on today, guys. I hope you're doing really well. Here we are, basically the middle of January 2021. If you can even believe that, that's possible. We are literally right in the middle of the month already. So today I've got basically a few quick things that I want to hit with you. A little bit from a I guess motivation standpoint, in my view, and then a bit from a skills standpoint. So I hope that you'll hang with me and are ready for some of that stuff. So here's what I love for you to do. Number one, if you have a pen and a paper out, here we are, 2021, 2 weeks in, 2 weeks removed from New Year's and all of the fun of that. And I did this last Friday as well, but I think I would just, if you have your pen and paper, I would write down the following thing: 2021 dot dot dot. How is it going so far? Question mark. This would be something that I would write if I were you. And I'm going to do this as well again today. I've done this already. But boy, what an opportunity, guys, to take 15, 20, 30 minutes to yourself to sort of have that moment looking yourself in the mirror and talking to yourself about how things are going. Are you on track with the goals that you've set? Are you on track with the behaviors that you wanted to be in aligned with? Are you on track with the schedule that you wanted? Look, and I hope that the answer is yes, or maybe yes most of the time, or something like that. But boy, these are great moments, guys, to sort of make sure that you are reestablishing the direction you're heading, which is something that we all need all the time. And so don't minimize or underestimate the power of continuing to kind of restart, revamp, and reset, and just keep the ball trudging down the road and moving toward what you want. So that's number one. Ask yourself that question. I think it's so important that you do that. 2021, how's it going so far? Number two, all right, write this down. Think and Grow Rich. When's the last time you read that book? I have so many books right now that I'm like reading, and I've got actually just two that I'm really focused on right now. One is the Speak Like Churchill, Stand Like Lincoln. The other one that I'm back in is Think and Grow Rich. And actually, I have to tell you, I haven't even really started the book yet, but I've been reading about the book and reading about how it came to be and stuff, and had a really cool story that I read this week that I wanted to share with you guys. It hit me like a ton of bricks this week when I read a story about Bruce Lee. You may know who that is. I'm sure you all do. Big famous actor, Asian actor, that changed cinema really. And this is an individual that I wasn't aware of this story, but he had, maybe I'd read it before. It didn't sound totally unfamiliar, but here's what I loved about it. Is I'll get to Bruce Lee in just a moment, but Think and Grow Rich, and we say it every day, the self-confidence formula. There's that line there that we talk about: my definite chief aim in life. Think about that for a moment. My definite chief aim in life. I'm not going to dive way deep into this, and we talked a ton about this, especially toward the end of the year, but uh, do you have a definite chief aim in life? That'd be the third thing I'd be writing down this morning. What is my definite chief aim in life? And why is it so important to even have that? Well, my goodness. Again, I love the example of saying, if I just went outside and got in my car and someone said, "Where are you going?" And I just said, "I'm just going." somewhere, right? I'm just going to drive. Look, for some of us, that could be like a really fun, exciting adventure, couldn't it? You just kind of go, right? And wherever you get taken, you see things. Yeah, that could be really interesting and what an adventure. But boy, couldn't even do that until you've already taken some really good trips with destinations. So think about for a moment. If instead, if you said, well, where are we going or where am I going? And you had a destination, right? A definite chief aim, what would you do? We all know what you'd do. If I said, I'm in Utah right now, if I said, I'm going to go to Washington, D.C., same thing if you're in Ventura County right now, I'm going to go to Washington, D.C., what's the very first thing you would do? You would start to plan your trip. You would start to look up and figure out, what directions should I go? Should I go across the top of the United States? Should I go down the bottom of the United States? Which way's faster? Which way's cooler? Which way's safer? Right? You're going to start making a game plan. Where am I going to stay the night? Where will be my first destination? So when you start to ask yourself, what is my definite chief aim in life? You should begin just to begin to start asking similar questions about what are my other stops along the way? What other things do I need to accomplish before I get to that definite chief aim? So talking about that, I have written down in the notes in my phone that I just want to share with you this. Listen to what Napoleon Hill says. All success begins with definiteness of purpose, with a clear picture in your mind of precisely what you want in life. There is no hope of success for the person who does not have a central purpose or definite goal at which to aim. 98 out of 100 of those whom I have analyzed had no such aim. Perhaps this was the major cause of their failure. So think about that. And here's what I love about it. That's a pretty bold statement, and actually even kind of a scary statement when someone says there's no hope of success for the person who does not have a central purpose. Okay, back to the car analogy and the car drive. If you were to just say you're going to get in the car and drive, well, could you make it to Washington, D.C. eventually? Possibly, yeah. I mean, you'd probably get there. You just head east, right? Well, but how long will it take? And with any goal, you've got to have a timeline, right? So, like, I love the idea most of the time when I meet with a brand new agent and say, what do you want? What are you hoping to achieve? Often, I mean, 99% of the time I hear, I want to earn six figures. I want to earn $100,000. It's awesome and it's great. And so many of them say that. I've often thought how interesting if we took the whole group of real estate agents who've ever made that statement to see how long it took them to achieve $100,000. We've had people within our organization where, crazy enough, it took them 3 or 4 months to get there. And then we've got other people who've probably been real estate agents for over a decade. And I'm not even thinking of our company right now. I'm just thinking of our industry in general. And they've still not reached it. And I'm not talking in a 12-month period. I'm talking ever, right? And so, boy, the great challenge is this idea of creating and defining the definite chief aim in life. So listen to this. Napoleon Hill wrote this book in the middle of the Great Depression, and it was interviewing tons of people to analyze and learn this information. Listen to what he says. This is Bruce Lee now. I, Bruce Lee, will be the first highest paid Oriental superstar in the United States. In return, I will give the most exciting performances and render the best quality in the capacity of an actor. Starting 1970, I will achieve world fame, and from then onward till the end of 1980, I will have in my possession $10 million. I will live the way I please and achieve inner harmony and happiness. This was written in 1969. So, if any of you know anything about Bruce Lee, obviously had a tragic young death, but he wrote this 4 years before he passed away. He wanted to accomplish these things within a decade. He did it within that 4 years, really within just a couple of years. And he's a legend. So in 1969, he's basically unknown. And, by 1971, he's a huge superstar. And then by the time he dies, he's accomplished those things he wants. I was just motivated because when I read that, I thought, holy cow, we're talking about this every day. And here's just one more example of a person that actually is saying and doing what they say they're going to do. And they're using the same stuff that we're talking about: definite purpose in life, definite chief aim in life, and working through it. So, guys, I hope that you will take some time to continue to establish, because when you do have your definite purpose in life, you're going to achieve and accomplish and get where you're wanting to go a lot more quickly, because you'll really mean it. It's one thing to say it, like, I'm going to earn $100,000. It's one thing to say it. It's another thing to write it down, to put it out to the universe, to tell a lot of people what it is that you want, because then it becomes a definite chief aim in your life. So my encouragement to you, take some time to really decide what that is for you and refine it. I love the idea that he probably spent tons of time, and you can look that up. He actually has it you can see it handwritten, but refine it. I'm sure it's something that you can take from, maybe there's a lot of things, to just minimizing and minimizing and minimizing until you have kind of your own personal statement of what your definite chief aim in life is. So incredible stuff. I love the story. I love reading about the fact that he was interested in some stuff that we are interested in, and to see his success from it. Such a superstar. Okay, so I love that story and wanted to share it with you. A couple quick things that I want to share. See how we're doing on time here. Good. Okay, I'm going to go dark for just a second here, because I want to show you guys something. Okay, where is it? Sorry, guys. Okay, what I wanted to talk about this morning is just one quick thought about your phone calls. One essential element every single day, at some level, I get to listen to at least one agent make a phone call, or I make a phone call with them or something. I try to do it almost every day. And one thing that I thought, I always have little things that I pick up in my head that I'm like, we need to make sure that we're sharing this with our agent. And the big question is this: if you have your pen and a paper right now, it's this: what creates value when I'm talking to someone? How do I create value when I'm on the phone prospecting? What creates value with somebody? A little bit different than we're talking about how do you build rapport, right? I mean, you can build rapport by, what people often say, talking about friends, occupation, recreation, and dreams. I often like to say that you can create rapport just by talking about your common denominator, which is you want to all engage in a real estate transaction that's very successful. Next, though, I have to tell you is how do you create value, though? And so often we think it might be commissions. We think that it might be marketing strategies and all of those good things, which help. But I want to make sure it's clear, and something that I have learned and I feel very passionately about is that the way in which you create value with others is by understanding their needs and their wants and their motivation. How do you create value with others? You know what they want. You understand and know what their definite chief aim in life or definite chief purpose, right? What is it that they are looking to accomplish? and as you make sure you're asking great questions. So, for example, I spent some time with some agents doing some buyer phone calls recently. And while they were on the phone, what I heard a lot of were these types of questions and statements. Somebody might say, "Oh, I'm just looking right now. I'm not really a serious buyer." And the impulse of the agent was to talk about, "Oh, you got to buy now. The market's so hot. There's so many exciting things happening. The interest rates are so low. The demand is so high, and the prices are going to continue to go up. The rates are going to go." Like, I mean, all good stuff and things that you should be using to create some urgency, no doubt about it. But I have to tell you that as I listen to that, I'm realizing we're talking about important principles that the buyer or seller, they need to know these things, but we haven't gotten to a point yet where it's going to create the value. Right now, they're just looking. And so, may I share with you what I think another great question would be when someone says, "I'm just looking right now"? I would say, "That's great. What an awesome time to just be looking. Hey, may I ask, what is it that you're looking for? I know you're not moving right now. I know you're just looking, but what is it that you're looking for?" What have I just done? I've asked them what their goals, what their dreams, what their definite chief aim is at this moment. And right now, that might be to look for homes online, right? There's a bigger story there, guys. But what I know is that when anybody starts to talk about, "Well, here's the reason that I'm looking," or "here's the reason that I'm selling," as you begin to understand those types of things, what happens is you begin to create a relationship of trust. You begin to create a relationship on shared information, which allows you to hear from them, their goals, their dreams. And what it is just this molding or connecting or weaving of the two of you, which allows a greater relationship to begin. So today, as you make some phone calls, which I know you will, because it's only 8:30 and 7:30, you've got a whole great day ahead of you. As you begin to make phone calls, as you begin to talk to people and get face to face with them, may I suggest and beg of you as agents to please do all that you can to try to understand the needs and wants and the motivation of the people whom you're trying to help and serve. Because as you do that, you're going to be able to create a much greater experience, much better customer service experience, and you're going to get where you're wanting to go a lot faster. It creates so much better opportunity for both of you. So focus on their needs and wants. You'll create a massive amount of value right from the get-go, which should keep you on track to getting you where you want even faster, which is moving toward the close, right? Helping these individuals accomplish their dreams. And as you do so, wow, great things are happening in your business. Great things are happening in your life, in your bank account, and all of that good stuff. So, guys, thanks a ton for being here today. Thanks for getting up. This is week 2 of 2021. I hope it's going great for you so far. Thanks for participating and engaging. And please, if you have any questions or need anything from me, don't hesitate to reach out to me one-on-one as well. My cell phone number is 801-859-6134. Again, 801-859-6134. I'm always available if you need me. Call me, text me, whatever you need. And let's get closed with some affirmations here.